Good night, my PEP scholars. Welcome back to another live PEP class. Today is Thursday, and as usual, we're going to be looking at some critical thinking skills, which is part of what is assessed in the PEP exams. So our students, our scholars have to be able to think critically, to analyze situations. This week, as we did last week, we're going to focus on money. We all have to learn how to handle money so as not to shortchange ourselves or so as not to shortchange anyone else. Good night to the scholars on the chat. Andrea Lee is bright and early, madam. Welcome. I have with me in studio Antoine, and I'm sure some other scholars will be joining. Before I invite Antoine and the others on, I'm just going to run by you the schedule of classes. Hello, CSEC students. I know you are busy preparing for your math tests and your CSEC exams coming up. I have a very important question to ask you. Do you like my hat? No, another important question. Have you ever a math problem wrong simply because of making one little mistake? I'm sure you have, as thousands of other students have. Now, in this series, we're going to be looking at the common mistakes that students make with all the topics in CSEC math. We're going to look at the common errors, demystify everything, make sure you avoid making those mistakes. So stay tuned. Scholars, did you know that most times when students get problems wrong in mathematics is as a result of one single error or one mistake? Well, this is absolutely true, and we're going to be looking at the common errors that students make in the different topics in mathematics. If we know the errors beforehand, we can certainly avoid. Are you ready? Come on, take my hand. All right, here we go. So I'm going to invite my studio crew to join me. Welcome, Anne, Madison, Jaden, all sharp and ready. Everybody sharp and ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, we are. Okay. Welcome. How are you, Roger? Angeli. So everybody has his or her book and pencil and ready to do some calculations. So let me share the screen so we can have a look at questions. All right, I believe another scholar. Are you able to see the questions?
Yes, miss, we are seeing the PowerPoint. Yes, miss.
Oh, you can screen. Okay, so there are questions as yet. All right, welcome, Amari. You can see the screen. Okay. Welcome, Amari. All right, so here we go. I'm going to let you have the first question. Since Antoine was the first scholar to join tonight, I'm going to ask you to read the first question.
Okay, Miss. PEP critical thinking skills. Money. Number 1. Mr. Barrett is paid for $46.50 per hour regular time and $85 per hour for overtime. If he works 8 hours per day at regular time or 5 days and 2 hours overtime each day for 4 days, how much does he earn over a 2-week period? Number 1. Mr. Barrett is paid $46.50 per hour regular time and $85 per hour for overtime. If he works 8 hours per day at regular time for 5 days and 2 hours overtime each day for 4 days, how much does he earn over a 2-week period?
2-week period, right? Okay, welcome, Ashanti. How are you doing, girl? Welcome. This new scholars. There's a digest here. How are we going to approach this? Any ideas yet? So remember, in the workplace scenario, what we call regular time is what we call overtime. All right, Madison, head. You have your hand up? Go ahead, Madison.
Yes, miss. So first we would calculate how much time he worked for regular hours, no overtime, which is
Mm-hmm.
1 day, and then we'd so that's
Did you
eight
say one
hours.
day? Okay.
Yes, miss. Sorry, regular hours, and for overtime he worked 4 days overtime.
Mm-hmm.
So
How many
we'd
days did he
multiply.
work regular time?
Sorry, miss. 5 days. So we
All right.
multiply the money for each of them by the amount of days, and you'll get that for 9 days. And then 9 days is
For
1 week and 2 days.
days? No, it's not 9 days. It's the same. It's the same day. It's not different days. The 4 days that he worked overtime was 4 days. So let me just explain for a minute and I'll get back to you. So I was saying in the workforce, the work world, we have regular time, overtime. So if you work the hours, you are paid at a different rate than if you work overtime. So let's say your job now at 5 a.m. So up from the time you go to work, let's say maybe 9 o'clock in the morning, 5 p.m., you're paid at a certain rate, $11 per hour. In this case, $46.50 per hour. If you work extra time, so any time after that, so let's say you stay on job till 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. You didn't leave at 5, which is your regular working hours that you're contracted to work for. Then you'll be paid at a different rate. So if you work the night, usually the rate higher than the regular work rate for the daytime hours. If you work on a weekend, usually that rate is higher. If you work on a public holiday, usually that rate is higher. So it's not 9 days. The 4 days that he worked 2 hours overtime overtime, that was the 4 out of those 5 days. So let's say Monday to Thursday, right? So he went to work normally Monday to Thursday, but he stayed towards extra. All right, so you're saying we should work out the regular time first, right?
Then Miss, wait, I have a question. So the 8 hours that he worked regular, would that be only one day he works regular?
Yes, 8 hours per day, and that's the norm for most people. They work 8 hours per day from 9 to 5. Normally, we have variations, but generally speaking, so 8 hours per day, regular time. So we're going to multiply the 8 hours by the 50 per hour by the 5 days. So everybody work that. 8 hours per day times the $46.50 per hour for 5 days. Tell me what you get for that. So it will be easier to work the 8 times 5, and which is 40, and then 40 times 48, $46.50. But whichever way you want to work it. Any answer yet for that? All right, so Ashanti is saying good night to everyone. Welcome. Those in the chat, if you do your calculations, please feel free to post them. Yes, someone has an answer for that part.
Miss, $332.
$372. Are you sure you multiplied
32.
3 of those numbers?
Miss, I got something
Remember,
else.
Antoine. What you got, Madison?
1,860.
That's so. Antoine, you didn't work one part of it. Remember, it's the 8 hours
I also
times
got
5 days
I also got
times
$1,850.
$6.50. All right.
Miss,
So
I
Jaden
also did
also
it.
got 1,008.
I would agree
You
with Miss.
realize where you went wrong, Antoine?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. All right. But that's the regular time. Okay. So let's work out now how much he worked overtime. So the overtime was 2 hours per day for 4 days, and the rate for overtime is $85 per hour. So we need to multiply the 85 times 2 times the 4 days that he did overtime.
Miss, 680.
All right. We're getting some answers.
680, Miss.
Any other
Miss, I also
answer?
got 680. Miss, I also got 680.
Got this? Okay, 680. So no. Okay. All right. So now we need to add the regular time plus the money that he's gonna get for overtime. And we'll have one last step after that, and I want somebody to tell me what still we need to. The regular money and the overtime money. What's the last thing? Tell me what you get when you add
Multiply
it.
it. Miss, multiply it by 2.
Multiply 2.
Miss, because it's a
Miss.
2-week period and
It's
it's a
14.
5-day work week.
Exactly. So they want to know for 2 weeks. So when we add them up, how much you'll make for the first week. And when we say week, we mean a work week, a 5 day. 4 of those days was overtime. We get when we add them up.
Miss, 5,080. Wait, when we add them up,
When we add them
2,540.
up,
2,500.
540. And then we multiply by 2 for the 2-week period, which is that.
5,080.
Yes, Miss. 5,080.
Correct. 5,080. All right. Okay, Amari, can you read number 2, please? Okay, Antoine. Number 2, Amari.
Okay, Miss. Number 2, money. Share $850 between Dorothy and Susan so that Dorothy gets $320 more than Susan. How much does each girl receive? Number 2, money. Share $850 between Dorothy and Susan so that Dorothy gets $320 more than Susan. How much does each girl receive?
Okay. Girl receive. If Dorothy is going to get $320 more than Susan. How much does each girl receive? Let me hear your thoughts. How do we approach this? Did you have your hands on?
Yes.
How would you
Miss.
approach it?
We take away 320 from 850.
Yes,
And
Miss.
then the answer that we'd get, we'd take that
550.
away from 850.
Hold on.
That's how we get Dorothy.
You're saying you take 320. You take 320 from 8. That's what you're saying?
Miss, may you repeat? You broke up.
I'm asking what you say. You're saying we take 320 from 850.
Yes, Miss.
That's the first thing. And then what?
Miss, and then we take away our answer from from the 850 to get how much Dorothy gets. And then the answer that we got before would be how much Susan got.
Miss, I have my answer.
Hold on, Antoine. So how much would you get?
Miss, for Susan, I got 530. And for Dorothy, I got 320.
But does Dorothy get 300 more than Susan? If those are your answers, check them and come back. Antoine, what are you saying?
Oh, Miss, I called the wrong name. Sorry.
Miss, for the girl who got the greater amount, Miss, I
What
got.
names? Tell me the names.
Okay, Miss. So Dorothy got 530 and Susan got 320. Miss, to double check my answer, I got plus them, which I got 850.
Miss, I called the
So you're
wrong
saying,
name.
okay, but either way, your Dorothy gets 530
And Susan.
and Susan gets 320.
Yes, miss. And I
Excuse me,
added them up, and I
But
got
listen,
Excuse me, miss.
Susan, but is Dorothy's amount 320 more than Susan? It needs to meet that requirement. Whatever you're saying, each girl is saying. The one who gets more should get $320 more. When you subtract their amount that you're giving me, does one person get 320 more than the other? It doesn't sound like that. If you're saying 530 and 20, that's what, 210. Does anyone have any ideas how we can solve this?
Miss 265. Hey, I didn't know what 265 is. Miss, I think I know how to work it out.
265 for
Miss,
whom?
Miss 265 for whom?
So tell me now, John,
Sorry, Miss. Miss, it be
265 for whom?
Miss, it be 5. Miss $530. 530 from 320. Miss. That would give 210.
265 for?
Miss, the answer was Miss. My final answer wasn't that. Miss, it was Miss. The answer was the 210.
John, you
Miss $210 for Susan. Miss.
how much for Dorothy?
Miss, I did. Miss 530.
You know, sound like me can sell and go shopping.
Miss, I don't want to go shopping for you.
Can I send you guys to the shop for me? You're not gonna bring back my correct change.
Yes, miss. I will.
Who can I send?
We will.
I can't send and go shop because nobody can tell me how much Dorothy must get and how much Susan must get.
Miss Dorothy is supposed to get $530, and Susan is supposed to get $210.
530 and
that
250.
Is
Those
the
who
thing
other
is
people to get
that would equal
850.
740. That would equal 740, not
Exactly.
850. I've tried.
All right.
I tried.
Okay, let me tell you what to do. And let it be known, I can't send none of go shop. Unless you're gonna prove yourself in the class. But as of now, I'm not sending any of you to the shop. So you have to share some money or any number of items, and one person must more than the other or even less than the other. Take out amount and put it aside. So the extra that each person, the other person, and put it to the side, and then divide the remainder by 2. And after you divide the remainder by 2, you're going to add back the person who must get more, add back that you put aside on her. So subtract the 320 extra that Dorothy is gonna get. Take that out of the 850. Right? Put it aside. Take out the 320 from the 850. You get 530.
530.
Okay, so
Yes.
that's why I thought John was gonna tell me the answer, because he had said that. So now divide 2, and you get 530 divided by 2.
265. 265.
Okay, now add back the
265.
the 320 to that. Add back the
585.
320 to that, and okay, so 585 is what Dorothy will get, and Susan will get 265. All right, so let's move on. We spent a good deal of time on this question. Question 3, please.
Question 3. The Johnson family spends 3/4 of its monthly earnings on food, rent, utilities, and transportation. The family saves 1/3 of the remainder. If their monthly earnings is $300,000, how much is saved per month? Number 3. The Johnson family spends 3/4 of its monthly earnings on food, rent, utilities, and transportation. The family saves 1/3 of the remainder of 1/3 of the remainder. If their monthly earnings is $300,000, how much is saved per month?
Okay, so how do we approach this?
Miss, I say to find 3/4 of 300,000.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Would that was the final answer? Is that all we need to do? Would that tell us how much is saved?
Miss, I'll say
No, miss, we also have to find
All right,
one
Jerry's
third.
saying 10,000. Okay, so I'm trying to pronounce this person's name. Is it Gojo FF? Gojo FF is saying, "Hi, Miss. I love your videos. Thank you. I hope we have lots and lots more to come." Okay, Jer, 100,000, but remember, scholars, you have to tell me how and why. So, how and why, Jer? I know you're not on the screen, so you have to type, but tell me in the shortest way you know how you come by the 100,000. And does anyone else have any other answer and any method and explain to me?
Miss, I do.
Okay, so Jerry
Miss, may I
is saying
say?
he found 1/3 of 300,000. Jerry, that is not the method at all. Please reread the question, sir. Madison, go ahead.
Okay, miss. We find 3/4 of 300,000. Then what we get, we find 1/3 of then what we get, we minus that from 300,000, and then we find 1/3 of that number, um and then that's our answer. Sorry.
Which so break it down for me now. So say we'll find 3/4 of the 300,000. How much would that give?
225,000.
So 3/4 times 300,000.
Yes.
Okay, and what's the next step?
Miss, the 3/4 that we got, we minus the 225,000 from the 300,000. And what we get, we find 1/3 of that. And that will be our answer.
from 100.
Miss, you are breaking up. What did you ask?
No, I'm asking what do we actually get? Okay, so remember,
75,000.
3/4 use. Okay. So the question said 3/4 of the monthly earnings is used on food, rent, utilities, transportation. The remainder, we save 1/3 of the remainder. So Madison is saying find 3/4 of the 300,000, which is 225,000, and subtract that from the 300,000. Because remember, the remainder is what we're going to find 1/3 of. So that of 75, 1/3 of it, and to find 1/3 of something, we divide it by 3. So what's the final answer?
Miss, 25,000.
Correct. $25,000.
I also got 25,000, miss.
John, please read number 4.
Yes, I also got 25,000.
Number 4.
Okay, miss. Number 4. 5% discount is offered to all BFD customers who pay their bills on time before the due date each month. Sharon paid her bill 2 days early. If her monthly bill is $460, how much does she actually have to pay? Money. Number 4. A 5% discount is offered to all BFD customers who pay their bills on time before the due date each month. Sharon paid her bills 2 days early. If her monthly bill is $400, how much does she actually have to pay?
Okay. This is simple enough. For those who want to join the live, I'm going to post the link in the chat. Go ahead, guys. So this is pretty straightforward. All right, Jer got 437. So Jer needs to tell me how.
Miss, I also got that.
Go ahead, Jer.
Miss?
Okay, I'm now at 437.
$437, miss.
Remember, it's not say what we need to say. Why and how. So Jer says
Miss,
he
may I
found
do it?
5% of the 460. Well, Jer is saying he found 5% of the $460, and then he subtracted that from the. So what is 5% of $460?
23.
$23. Okay, that's. So the answer
Miss?
is $437.
Yes, Miss, I agree.
Then please read question 5. Okay. Jaden, question 5.
Money. Number 5. Mrs. Smith is renovating her house, and she wants to buy floor tiles for 3 rooms. She has chosen a beautiful brown tile, 13 centimeters by 20 centimeters. If the floors of 2 of the rooms are 12 meters by 10 meters each, and the other room is 8 meters by 9 meters each, 8 meters by 9 meters, how many of the brown tiles will Mrs. Smith need to cover the 3 floors? Number 5. Mrs. Smith is renovating her house and she wants to buy floor tiles for 3 rooms. She has chosen a beautiful brown tile, 13 centimeters by 20 centimeters. If the floors of two of the rooms are 12 meters by 10 meters each, and the other room is 8 meters by 9 meters each, 8 meters by 9 meters, how many of the brown tiles will Mrs. Smith need to cover the 3 floors?
All right. Ideas? Ideas? Give me some ideas, guys. Several steps. So what's the first step? Oh, everybody's silent. What happened? What happened?
Miss, I'm trying to work it
Hello?
out first.
I'm working it out.
But talk to me while you're working it out. What is the
Miss,
first step?
Miss, that throws me
I
off.
said
Okay, listen. Hi, Miss. I finished my PEP at 90%. Go online classes just like these. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you. And we certainly will try to do that. Congratulations, Lena. That's awesome. All right. So what are we saying, scholars? What we're doing, what we're saying, what we're thinking. Do you see what I see in terms of the units? What do you see in terms of the
Miss, that they're
units?
in different units.
What are the different units?
Miss
The rooms
centimeters
are
and
in
meters.
meters and
The
the tiles are in centimeters.
yes, miss.
All right. So the floors, the measurements for the floors are given in meters. The tiles are given in centimeters. It's
Miss,
usually better to change the bigger to the smaller unit. Because sometimes when you change the smaller to bigger, you end up working with decimals, which you can. So it's the meter and how do we do that? How meters to centimeters?
Wait, Miss, I have a question.
Centimeters make.
Go
100.
Miss, do we get the area first and then the number that we get, we transfer that into centimeters?
Change them to centimeters.
Okay, Miss, so we change the
So
numbers
the,
that we
so the
already
12
have to
cent,
centimeters.
the 12 meter will become how many centimeters?
120?
Are you sure? Remember, you just told me 100 centimeters make 1 meter. So we're going to need to multiply the 12 meters by 100. How much
Miss,
is that?
1,200.
Okay, 1,200. And the 10 meters is going to become what? (10 meters to centimeters).
This 1,000 centimeters?
1,000. And the 8 meters will be written as
800 centimeters.
and the 9 meters
900 centimeters.
centimeters.
All right, so those are the units we're working with right now. So it's 1,200 centimeters by 1,000 centimeters, 800 centimeters by 900 centimeters. All right, so now that we've got that out of the way, what's the idea we're having? We have tiles that are going to be put to fit across floors. Are we talking perimeter? Are we talking area? Are we talking volume? Which one?
Miss, I say we're talking area.
Okay, so we're thinking area. The area of the tile is going to be spread across the area of the floor. So we need to find out how many of the tiles does Mrs. Smith need to cover the 3 floors. So the idea is, if we find the area of the floors and we find the area of the tile, we can divide the area of the floor by the area of the tile, and we'll see how many of the tiles can fit. That's the idea. That's the idea. Okay. So what's the area of the floors? Remember, it's 3 floors. 2 of them have the same demands. One has something different. So work out the area of the 3 floors. Combine. Work out the area of the tile. And then we're going to divide to see how many tiles will fit across those 3. How do we find the area of each floor?
Unless we multiply length width.
Yes.
Length times width.
This I agree.
And the assumption is that these floors are rectangular. They usually are. So we can assume. So it will be the 1,200 times 1,000. It's easy to multiply numbers with the zeros at the end. We just count how many zeros and add those back and multiply the other digits, right? So it's a 1,200 times 1,000 times 2. Why am I saying times 2 for that one?
Because there are 2 rooms.
2 floors have that dimension, those dimensions. So that is very important. If you forget that, you're going to fall into trouble. So remember, 2 of the floors have 1,200 centimeters by 1,000 centimeters. So when we multiply that, we need to multiply by 2 also. And the other floor is 800 centimeters times 900 centimeters. Again, multiplying with the zeros, very, very easy. Just multiply the 8 times 9 and add the 4 zeros. Very easy. And then we're going to combine those areas. So give me some figures now. What do we have? So
800 times 900.
What stage is working out?
Miss?
That gives what, Antoine?
72.
You're saying the 800 times
1,000. 800 times 9.
720.
Yes,
Yes.
720,000, right?
yes, miss.
All right,
Yes.
and the 1,200 times 1,000 gives what? The 1,200 times 1,000 times 2 give.
Miss, I got an answer.
Million. Got 12,000 That's what I got as well. Run us through it, please, Madison. Madison is saying, "Oh my gosh, this was a lot of work."
Yes,
Yes,
miss,
it
it was
was.
so hard.
But
Oh,
yeah, we are scholars of mathematics. I'm not afraid of work, are we?
no,
Just
miss.
through it, Madam, how you 12,000. Maybe I can send it to the
Okay.
shop. So tell me
So
from
we
top to
first
bottom now.
first after we convert everything, since we already have our 13 by 20 centimeters, we can multiply the two numbers, and I got 260 centimeters squared. Okay, and we put that aside. So now we have the 12 meters by 10 meters, which in centimeters is 1,200 multiplied by 1,000, which would give us 1,200,000. And now we multiply that by 2, which would give us 2,400,000 centimeters squared. So we put that aside.
Okay.
And now for the 8 by 9 meters, that would give us 800 centimeters times 900 centimeters, which would give you 720,000 centimeters square. And we add that together, and I got 3,120,000 centimeters square. And we divide that by the 260 that we got before, and you'll get 12,000.
Brilliant, madam. Absolutely brilliant. And
That
I'm not
was
gonna
so
call
hard.
any names, madam, but you have some of my scholars wanting to know if you have a boyfriend. They are so impressed.
Yes, miss.
Yes, they are so impressed. So I have to ward them off for you because I know you are not at this time. But that's how impressed they are, madam. So for those who are still a bit lost, let me take you from the top. So the idea was we need to find the area of the tile and the area of the first thing we did was to convert work to tile. After we multiply the length times the width for each of the floors, the two floors that have the same we multiply that. And finally we divided the area of the floors by the area of the tiles. So yeah, a lot of work. Sometimes steps, they are not difficult, it's just that there are many steps and we just have to be willing to do with them. All right, so I'm very proud of you, Madison. Thank you for taking us through that. We have several other questions. Let's see how many of them we can get through. Okay, so I'm going to ask Jen to question 6.
Okay, miss. Sorry about that little wait.
Jaden, are you
Money.
there?
Number 6. Yes, miss, I'm speaking. Number
All right,
6.
go ahead.
Mrs. Smith wants to buy 8 boxes of this gorgeous black tile for the veranda floor. If 40 tiles come in each box, what will be the total cost of the tile?
Veranda.
Okay. Number 6. Mrs. Smith wants to buy 8 boxes of this gorgeous black tile for the veranda floor. If 40 tiles come in each box, what will be the total cost of the tiles?
Okay, this one seems simple enough, right? Can you
Yes,
see the
miss.
cost of the tile? Are you able to read it?
Miss, the cost of the tile is
$249.
Okay, so
$249.
$249 per tile. All right. Mrs. Smith wants 8 boxes, and there are 40 tiles in each box. It's pretty straightforward, right? So how do we
Yes.
go about it? How do we go about it?
Miss, I
Yeah.
know. Or maybe
Antoine,
somebody else can try.
Antoine, were you
So,
saying something?
yes, miss.
Go ahead.
Miss, I said
Go ahead.
the first thing that we should do is to so since Miss the Mrs. Smith wants 8 boxes, 8 boxes of tiles. So Miss, the price
Okay.
says 249. Miss, I since 40 tiles come in 240. Since the one tile equals 249, Miss, I said to multiply it by 40.
Dollars per tile.
Yes, miss. Then, si-
$249 for each tile. Okay.
yes, miss. And I say to multiply it by 40. Then I'll multiply it by
Right.
8, the price for 8. Since the Miss since Mrs. Smith wants 8 boxes of toy.
Mhm. So what we have there working with then?
Miss, I'm still working out the figures.
Miss, is it $79,680?
Miss, that's what I got.
Well, that's what I got.
Yes.
That's what I got. Did you work it method that Antoine used, or did you use another method, Madison?
The way I did it was I multiplied 249 by 40. I got 9,960. Then multiplied that by 8, and that's how I got 79,680.
Yes, Miss, that's what I did. I must
Okay, so
apologize. I didn't
Jaden.
hear Antoine
Okay.
what he said because I was working out.
Oh,
Miss, I
all
agree.
right. Well, basically, it's just a matter of which of the multiplications you do first. But remember, multiplication is commutative, and associate, right? So it doesn't matter which one we do first or which first. So the idea is we multiply the number of tiles in each box by the number of boxes that she wants by the cost for each. That's the idea. We all arrived at $79,680. All
Yes.
right, let's squeeze in a couple more
Yes.
because we have lots to see how much we can squeeze in. Amari, can you read number 7, please?
Miss. Money. Number 7. What would be the cost of 3 boxes of these titles if a 10% discount is being offered during a pre-Christmas sale? There are 15 tiles in each box. Money.
Miss,
Number 7. What would be the cost of 3 boxes of these tiles if a 10% discount is being offered during a pre-Christmas sale? There are 15 tiles in each box.
All right. So what we do?
Miss, you
Miss,
find out 10% of 590, then multiplied by 15.
well, yeah.
You 15% discount. What the discount
No,
tell
Miss, it
us?
says at 10%. Miss, it says 10%.
10%, right? Okay. So we can find
Yes,
10% of the money, and then we have to subtract the money. And then we can multiply by the number of tiles and the number of boxes. You can do it per tile first. You can do the whole thing and then find 10% and take off the discount, whichever way you want to work it. So let's say we're working, let's say we're going to find the whole cost first and then take off the 10%. So it'll be the 590 times the 15 tiles times the 3 boxes. If we're working it as a whole thing first. So 590 per tile times the 15 tiles times the 3 boxes. If we want to work it separately, we could work out the 10% and then do the multiplication. So when I multiply the unit cost by the tiles by the 3 boxes, I got
Miss 8,850.
the 590 times 15 times 3.
590 times 15. Miss, I did that part and I got 8,850.
Times 3 because it's 3 boxes.
Yeah.
So 590 times 15 times 3.
Miss, when I
How much you get for that?
26,000 26,550.
26,550.
Yes, miss.
So find 10% of that. So multiply that by 10 over 100. And subtract that amount from it.
Miss,
Yes.
the 10% of 26,550, miss, that will give you 2,655.
Okay. So just subtract that now from the 26,550. Because it's a discount. It's a discount, so you have to subtract it. So work that out, Antoine, and tell me.
Miss, for the 10% of 26,550, I got 165.5.
Antoine gave the right figure for that.
Sorry, Miss, I didn't hear. What was it?
2,655. And then we'll subtract that from the 26,550. And I had so many more questions to go wrap it up there, because I have a CSEC class right after this. So the answer I got was 20,895.
Miss, my answer, yes, miss, I got 23,000.
Oh, my saying that she went from 88 to 98 in a few weeks. That's great. Madison.
Yes,
Sorry,
miss.
Antoine. What?
Miss, my answer is
That's awesome. That's
23,095.
wonderful. 23,895. Right. Okay, so we're gonna have to part compose. My other scholars need me. My CSEC scholars need me. I'll get to them right this minute. So remember now, tomorrow we have what? Well, tomorrow? Curriculum based. I remember the time is 4:30, not 7. Tomorrow is Friday. And remember, as of next week, because we'll be on Christmas break, we're going to, guys, quiz. Make sure you sharp yourself and come ready. Quiz every day. We're going to have every day during the week.
Okay, miss.
And that's in addition to regular live classes. Okay, so sharpen up yourself. Come ready. No crying, no cussing, no win. You're good, so we're gonna do this.
Yes.
All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow then. Say good night to each other. Good night.
Good night,
Good
miss.
night,
Good night, everyone. Goodbye. Good
Okay.
night.
Sleep
Goodbye.
well.
Night, everyone.
Good night.
Hello, CSEC math students. I know you are preparing for your math test and your CSEC exams coming up. I have a very important question to ask you. Do you like my new hat? Thank you. Now, another important question. Have you ever got a math problem wrong simply because of one little mistake? I'm sure you have, as thousands of other students. Now, in this series, we're going to be looking at the common mistakes, all the topics in CSEC math. We're going to look at the common errors, demystify everything, make sure you watch every video in this series so that you can avoid making those mistakes. So stay tuned. Hello, scholars. Did you know that most times when students get problems wrong in mathematics is as a result of one single error or one mistake? Well, this is absolutely true, and we're going to be looking at the common errors that students make in the different topics of mathematics. If we know errors beforehand, we can certainly avoid making them. Are you ready? Come on.